What's going on, beautiful and exotic women of the world? Welcome to another video. We're gonna get right back into it today, you guys. We have a topic that I really want to discuss, and it is touching on why beautiful people often find themselves being devalued. And what I know for a fact is that when you have a pure heart and great energy, and on top of that, you're stunningly beautiful, people will be fascinated by you, almost like a moth to a flame. So we know that moths and other little bugs are really attracted to the light, but when they get too close, they end up getting burned. And that's how you can describe exoticals and their experience with people who hyperfixate on them and who target them. And some envious people and wicked spirited people will deep down be enamored with you, so they love everything about you. They're completely obsessed with you and your light and your energy, but will also hate you for those exact things. So men are the same way. They oftentimes are attracted to how vivacious you are, your love and nurturing energy, and of course your beauty. But if they're abusive or narcissistic or both, they will shame you and hate you for the exact things that attracted them to you. They will make you feel bad for being beautiful, having a great body, having good skin, being the life of the party, being a social butterfly. Or if you're introverted, they won't like the fact that you don't need attention or outward validation, and that you can validate yourself, and that you're not on your hands and knees begging him to validate you. They will find something, very much something, to hate you for, and it will be something that is 99.9% out of your control. Devaluation happens with both romantic and platonic relationships. This is not exclusive to just one type of relationship. It encompasses both friendships and romantic relationships. So the common denominator in all of this, though, is the narcissist and their love for taking you high just to drop you. This is also known as the devaluation stage. So a lot of times they will love bomb you. I know I've had friends who have come into my life and have come on really strong. And when I was younger, I didn't realize what was going on. But it wasn't until later on, months or years later, that I realized this person was never who they said they were. They were love bombing me or friendship bombing me in the beginning to get my guards down, to allow me to trust them, to open up, to share about myself so that they can do what they wanted with me and with what they learned about me and what they got from being close to me. And I find that these people tend to get off on bringing you pain and suffering. So part of them believes that you haven't suffered at all or haven't suffered enough. And this is the really sadistic, dark side of being beautiful, is that you have to deal with people who think like this. You have to deal with people like this in the workplace. You have to deal with people like this in the dating pool, with women who befriend you, women who are in your career, whatever the case may be. These people are wolves in sheep's clothing, and they're everywhere. They were your teachers. They're your aunties, your uncles, for some of you, your mothers, your fathers. They're the man that you're sleeping next to at night. You never know who these people are until they actually show you. These people are everywhere, and they're a lot more common than you think. And this is the cost of beauty, everyone. Speaking of devaluation, I want to shed light on an email that I received from one of my lovely subscribers. She says, "Hey girl, have you ever noticed how after people have knocked you off the pedestal, the devaluation right after is insane? For starters, I've had experiences where it's like my looks and achievements are what makes me stand out. But at the same time, that's the same thing people end up hating me for, as if I'm taking too much space, or they move the goalpost in terms of what I should accomplish to meet their requirement, quote unquote. I've experienced this in the dating market, friends, and even work. To now know it's true, because I've been gaslit for so long, I'm ashamed to admit that I also became my own torchbearer in the gaslighting, because it's much more prevalent in dating and friendships. And once the devaluation stage begins, that's when you get to see people's inner demons, how giddy they turn at your misfortune, as if you aren't human enough. Again, this makes me question if their admiration even stemmed from a genuine place to begin with. And this goes back to what I was saying before. You see who people really are when the devaluation stage happens. So I know for a fact with friendships, the devaluation stage usually happens after they either realize that they can't do you better than you. So if they came into the friendship with you competing and comparing, and they realize that they can't outdo you, or your light and the things that you are attaining, so you're achieving big things or your blessings haven't stopped because they're wishing you ill, will get them so angry to where they can't even be in your space anymore. So they will remove themselves, or they will have a falling out with you on purpose so that the friendship will end. And that is a form of devaluation, because they will slowly start to do things to let you know that the friendship isn't important to them anymore, isn't valuable to them anymore. They'll start to say things and do things to hurt you, to begin to take you down a notch, to begin to drop you level by level by level. She then goes on to say, I've read Robert Greene's book 48 Laws of Power, where he talks about occasionally showing your misfortune to appear more human-like, but at the same time, I believe this doesn't work for exoticals. Because again, people glee at the sight of an exotical in pain. It's much more amplified than the ordinary person. Because if I am to quote Miss Exoticals United, we are already treated as celebrities and are already pedestalized. To some point, it even feels as if you have to make quick, calculated decisions, knowing that you will hold the short end of the stick. For example, when I show off my flaws to become more human, people would be quick to spread rumors about you just so that you can soothe their deep-rooted, perceived feelings of unworthiness. While you, the exotical, end up having your reputation ruined, and sometimes for the most mundane stuff. I digress. First of all, it's important to mention the part where you do grieve the privileges you once held and how you end up questioning your self-esteem, self-worth, societal expectations of you, and reevaluating your relationships. It does make you a better person by acknowledging that human validation isn't what you need for you to have high self-esteem. Human validation is fickle. We get to understand the sadistic part of human nature and just observe it for what it is, smelling the BS from a mile away while holding great discernment within the situation. And at the end, the exotics become better human beings in society once we learn how to transmute this energy. Love and light. I just love this email. I think she broke this down and worded this in an amazing way. I think we can all think back to a time where someone has tried to devalue us. If it wasn't a friend, if it wasn't a man, it was a boss, it was a coworker, okay? I have too many stories. I have a story time actually on my channel already that has to do with coworkers and toxic work environments and drama in the workplace that you guys can go check out regarding this. But I've experienced befriending coworkers, all for them to devalue me, all for them to turn on me, to make other coworkers in the workplace dislike me. It was all just a tactic for them to gain power and for them to make me look bad for whatever their weirdo reasons are. It's not for me to understand, but I do know that this is a common thing that beautiful and exotic women deal with on a daily basis. Because we are threats, because people are insecure, and because we trigger people, we are no stranger to this type of nonsense. And when it comes to navigating this world that we live in, I want to encourage my exoticals to practice discernment. It's important to discern situations, people, men. Definitely seek guidance from the people who you trust in your life. Seek guidance from the Most High if you are a believer. Whatever you need to do to get clarity on situations, please do it, because the last thing you want is to just be sucked in by people's manipulation tactics and love bombing and friendship bombing and workplace bombing, all the bombs you could think of. You want to be equipped with the knowledge and the tools to navigate those spaces and those relationships so that you can tell when someone is doing those things to get a leg up or to get information on you or about you or to get close to you to just simply study you and then try to run off with your whole entire personality and life. I can't tell you how many times I've experienced that with friends. I even had an ex who just he operated like a female. He was in his feminine energy, and I know a lot of women are battling with that right now in the dating pool, just dealing with men who are very feminine and want to be the woman in the relationship. Because as a man, why are you trying to do what I do? Why are you trying to live a soft life? You need to get out there in the field and work. A lot of these men are out here on podcasts, bumping their gums and running their mouth instead of working, and it's getting old. But anyways, I digress. I just find that it doesn't matter who the person is or what the situation is. People will want to take from you for their own weird, selfish reasons, and we just need to be prepared for it. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Please let me know your thoughts on devaluation. Have you experienced someone trying to devalue you, whether it was a man, a boss, or a friend? or even a family member, because that's not talked about a lot, but family members do devalue you. My own family has been doing this to me my entire life, my immediate family rather. I grew up in a very narcissistic, abusive home, so I had one sibling and both my parents in the household, and they all worked together to hurt me and to scapegoat me. So if you guys can relate, please drop down in the comment section and let me know what your experiences are. You can also send your stories to my email, theexoticbrownskin@gmail.com. Have a lovely day, ladies.